Sometimes it was hard to tell what Shouto was thinking. When he first brought you home, he acted like nothing was wrong. Like you weren't a civilian in the hideout of one of Japan's most fatal villains. You woke up on your own, Shouto just smiling and asking if you were hungry, rather than explaining why your ankle was chained to the bedpost. He was never happy, or relieved, or particularly mad, even when he caught you poking around areas you were explicitly told to stay out of. Shouto just maintained his dull monotone, and you did your best to keep him mad at the world outside or his imaginary rivals. Anyone but you. Still, it was hard not to squirm when he was feeling affectionate, not to writhe and shift when he just wanted to melt into you. Today he was cuddling into your back, still wearing his smoke-soaked jumpsuit, a metal belt digging into your waist as every time he pulled you closer. Occasionally he would kiss the back of your neck, or mumbled about how frustrating his day was, but the boy made it apparent that all he wanted to do was lay there, until he decided you were allowed to get up. But you weren't as content, taking comfort in the fact that he couldn't see you biting the inside of your cheek. You attempted to keep him from moving, letting Shouto purr contently, despite your efforts to curl into yourself.
Hey, Todoroki?
Your voice was quiet, quieter than it probably should have been, but you could feel him go stiff, propping himself up ever so slightly. He didn't say anything, but you took the cue to continue.
You kidnapped me, right?
It took a few seconds for him to respond, Shouto thinking before bothering to say anything.
I guess so,
he replied, blankly.
I've never really thought about it.
And you're going to keep me here?
You asked, ignoring the obvious. You've already been trapped here for weeks, but there was still some fragile, sheltered part of you that might have believed he was just going to let go one day. He opened his mouth, but you continued before he had the chance to shoot you down, your tone growing more frantic as you spoke.
I mean, it's not like you can just hold me hostage forever and I won't even tell anyone. If you let me out, I'll make up something about human traffickers or a sociopath. You'll never have to think about me again.
Love, traveler, angel.
Shouto laughed, the sound getting caught in his throat, but making you cringe nonetheless. You felt him moving, positioning himself to lean over you and brushing the hair away from your face as he nudged your shoulder, encouraging you to face him.
That's exactly why I have to keep you here.
At that, you relented, rolling onto your back and reluctantly looking up at him, if only to stop him from getting more forceful.
What do you mean?
Look at you. You're so soft.
There was another laugh, another kiss to your forehead, Shouto's smile pressing into your skin. When he leaned back, Shouto was quick to cup your cheek, pinching it lightly.
You've been so good for me, and you haven't even seen my quirks up close. Such an adorable little angel shouldn't have to worry about money or villains. That's why I'm taking care of you.
You opened your mouth, ready to point out how hypocritical that was, but Shouto only cut you off, straightening his back to look down on you properly.
I'm doing you a favor by not letting you leave. Everyone out there would take advantage of you, eat you up and spit you out. The world is an evil, disgusting place. You wouldn't survive unless you had me.
I was fine without you.
You argued, Shouto rolling his eyes the moment you spoke. His smile began to fade as you pushed yourself up, leaning against the headboard and crossing your arms.
I could show you that if you stopped chaining me to the fucking bed. Not everyone's your father.
The words died on your tongue, Shouto's fist around your neck in a moment, pinning you to the hard wood. You could still breathe, Shouto not choking you yet, but as your gaze dropped to his fist, he gave a light, playful squeeze, his smile back in full force, as strained as it's ever been.
I thought we decided you wouldn't be ungrateful anymore.
He hissed, teeth gritted so forcibly, you wondered if he'd cracked them.
You wouldn't survive for 2 minutes without me. Say it, or I'll just prove how weak you are.
Don't hurt me.
Your voice cracked, still trying to get over the shock of Shouto's sudden violence. But that waned quickly, dread and terror swiftly taking its place.
I'm helpless, innocent, whatever you want. Just please don't hurt me.
Shouto released you, running his fingers along your jaw while you let out a ragged sob. Slowly you glanced down, Shouto nodding and helping you lie back down when he decided you weren't moving fast enough. He didn't say anything, but neither did you, only slotting himself against your chest. You could only relax once his breathing had slowed, his head resting against your shoulder. He'd fallen asleep, and you, drained and exhausted, were tempted to do the same. As you'd said, you could never really tell what Shouto was thinking, and when you could, you wished you couldn't. But that didn't really matter. You doubted you'd ever be able to leave his side. Either way.